the idea behind it is for these residences to feel like homes.
Right.
We kind of wanted to have these people that are downsizing viewing this project as this is going to be your forever home.
So tell us, because I think a lot of people don't know, we're right on Grand Avenue. This is the new sales center, but you have a component here.
Yes. So really, out of those 18 residences, all 18 could look very different
Very different.
from one another based on the taste of the client.
So I am super excited. I am here at the Ziggurat Sales Center. Has not opened officially to the public yet, but it's coming. And I'm here with Sean today. Thank you for joining me, because I'm always talking about this project. You know, it's obviously one of my favorites in Coconut Grove, but I think coming from the source, you know, I want you to tell people a little bit about who's behind this project and why it's so special. Obviously, aside from the location, we all love Coconut Grove, but give me a little insight as to the developers.
Well, there's a couple key people behind the project, right? One being the developer, behind the project being the Alan Moore's company. They are a Miami-based third-generation company. Ziggurat is actually going to be their 100th project to date as a company. So it's a very special number for them. And the location makes it even more special because they're a family that grew up around Coconut Grove. So this is going to be kind of this homage and kind of signature building for their company. Another key person for the building is Chad Oppenheim, who's the architect behind the building. He was the Architect of the Year 2023, won the AIA Award, which is the best award that an architect could get in today's world. And then the interior designer, which kind of did what you're seeing here and where you're standing today, is Coyate. She's a Coconut Grove native. Went to Ransom Everglade down the street. We love partnering with the local, and whether it's retail, interior designer, we're all about the neighborhood.
I think when you have these individuals or these companies with these crazy reputations, right, that they've been around for a long time, they're not playing games, they know what they're doing. I think for me as an agent, bringing somebody new is so important, because I could burn my reputation really easily.
Yes.
Right? If I'm bringing them to a project where maybe the developer, this is their first project in Miami, they don't know the nuances that go on. I mean, there's this level of trust. And I think that's why for me, it's easy when people ask me, you know, which project? And I'm like, okay.
I mean, that's couldn't be more true. If you look at the news, there's horror stories all the time on, developers, and all those stories are scary. The good thing here, like I said, this is going to be their 100th project. They're very established. Another thing that, not a lot of people know, but we have a retail component to the building as well as an office component, which we're not selling. It's going to be owned by the Alan Moore's company. So they have a fully vested interest in the project and property as a whole. Whether it's, the maintenance of the building and how much they have invested in the project is greater than just your regular kind of condo that you build and just turn over to the clients. So they're going to own this asset on the retail and office side for the next 50 years. That's their plan. So it's good to have skin in the game on the developer side when you're buying real estate.
Yeah, not only that, but I think you told me that one of the owners actually is going to live in one of the units, right?
So yeah, the developer himself has actually purchased, moving in on day one into one of the units of the building.
You know, when that happens, that they're going to be paying attention closely to the finishes and what you're getting. So let's talk a little bit about the Ziggurat. 19 units in total.
Actually, now just combined 2 units together to make a penthouse about a month or so ago.
Okay.
So we have two bedrooms that we had. We combine them to make a 4,000 square foot penthouse, just gorgeous unit. So in total, 18 residences.
I guess the question is, who would be the ideal buyer for a unit here?
So that's a great question. And, like I mentioned, we're about 60% sold at this point.
Oh, okay. Not a lot.
I can give you a good idea of what the profile of the buyer is. Mostly what we're seeing is, surprisingly, we had a very good local clientele. So people that were downsizing mostly from their houses in Coral Gables, Coconut Grove, and also Key Biscayne. So they wanted to have this kind of home feeling that they could just lock up and travel to see their kids. And but we're also getting out of town clients, as you know,
Yeah.
and then a lot of people from within the states. So California, Seattle, and New York as well.
So a little mixed, but it's great to hear that the locals have embraced it, right? And I think a lot has to do with the layouts because it feels like a home,
It does.
right? It doesn't really feel like a condo, especially those terraces with, the outdoor kitchens. I think for me, that was like a huge selling point. Normally in a condo, you don't have that kind of outdoor space.
Yes, that I mean, we designed those terraces specifically to have this indoor outdoor living area, and all the terraces are 12 feet deep, all equipped with the summer kitchen on the balcony. So that's something special that we provided. And then you're totally right. The idea behind it is for these residences to feel like homes.
Right.
We kind of wanted to have these people that are downsizing viewing this project as this is going to be your forever home, but with the ability of being in the most prime location. And I think that's why the locals are responding so well to this project. Is because they're familiar with the location. When you talk about Coconut Grove and you tell them the location, I'm like, yeah, I've been there a million times, so I know exactly where it's gonna be. There's no question marks around it.
Yeah. The other thing is, obviously, which was impressive to me, are, the finishes. I mean, I'm looking at this kitchen now. The stove looks amazing. Gas, which you don't get normally, which I think is fantastic. Talk to me a little bit about what do you get?
The finishes and the whole concept for the kind of inside of the units, that was all with our interior designer Coyarte. She designed and had a very beautiful vision on what the inside are going to look like. We wanted to have this very organic feeling, kind of reflecting the neighborhood of Coconut Grove. So you see the plants that we have inside. That's what we kind of envision the clients to do themselves once they move in. But the materiality that we're using, the wood, the accents, and the also the countertop and backsplash, it's really high grade material, and which differs from what a lot of other developers have been done in the past. We have amenities, boutique style and boutique size, right? We
Right.
have the cold plunge, sauna, hammock, hot tub, and then we're about a 3,000 square foot amenity box that we're going to have all of these health and wellness amenities on. Also 70-foot lap pool. And then one way we're competing is that we're going to have 40,000 square feet of retail, which you're going to find a yoga studio and a Pilates studio, and then health and wellness concepts as well, and beautiful restaurants. So
So there was another thing about this project that caught my eye, which was or is the park
yes,
right behind it that you guys are digging deep in the pocket, putting some money into that. Tell me a little bit about that.
So yeah, so the site where we're actually building is about 1.8 acres, but Ziggurat as a whole is going to be a 5.5 acre redevelopment downtown Coconut Grove, which
And I'll add it to the video so they can kind of envision where it's going to be.
correct. And that's probably the most important kind of story around Ziggurat is that 5.5 acre development, because we're redeveloping, I want to say beautifying Fuller Street. We're not kind of touching the businesses that are on site, which we're standing here today on Fuller.
Right. Yeah, it's raining today. That's why we're in here. But yeah.
We're kind of, it's still a street right now. We're going to have cobblestone. It's truly going to be a pedestrian street, with this beautiful greenery that kind of reties into what Coconut Grove is as a neighborhood. And then the Kirk Monroe Park, which is, exists today.
Right.
We're just going to put it through a beautiful facelift, adding, thousands of different species of trees and flowers and water features, really kind of like investing into the neighborhood as well while we're building Ziggurat. It was really important for the developer, who's also partnering with the city of Miami, and that we're going to have different activation for local schools in the park, And obviously we have 4 or 5 beautiful tennis courts that are still going to remain there, just to so that we get a park in Coconut Grove, and in Miami in general that is a state of the art park.
I think that's going to be so special because, again, right, it's bringing community back. That park has been really neglected for a long time, and I saw the renderings and I was blown away. And I just think it's gonna be incorporated so nicely into the project that people, I mean, we have parks in Coconut Grove, but having one right in your backyard, I think it's great, especially for those people that are moving from a house where, sometimes you kind of what ties you into the house is that outdoor space and that green space where you could just kind of walk out there and have that. I think that's great. So tell me roughly, and I don't know if this will be dated at some point, but if somebody wanted to get into this project right now, where are the starting prices?
Okay, so we don't have any 1 bedrooms. So
Right.
start at 2 bedrooms, and it's about 1770 square feet.
Mhm.
And that price is gonna be up around $3.7 million for that specific unit.
Okay.
And then as you go up in square footage, the price obviously will follow that trend, and we go from 3.7 million all the way to 9.3 for penthouse. And then we have a collection of 2 bedrooms, 2 plus office, 3 bedroom, and then a 4 bedroom penthouse, which has an office as well.
That's awesome. And these units do come with an assigned parking space?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Well,
The
that's
sign and one valet.
okay. Well, that's great. And anything else that maybe we're missing, we haven't talked about, that maybe we want people to know about?
I think that one important thing is how we're tying kind of the residential aspects of the development into what we're doing outside of the residential. So we're gonna have incredible retail. We're gonna have 2 Michelin star chefs on site. So not only you're within the core of Coconut Grove, but within your own building.
Do we know which restaurants we're talking about?
We do. We're partnering with actually the owners of a cruise in Los Felix, who are locals. Yeah, and they're right now on the main highway. They're gonna have a brand new concept. It's not gonna be what they're doing here. They're gonna kind of hit the market with a brand new concept for Coconut Grove.
Okay.
And it's gonna be second to none. It's gonna be really cool.
Oh, that's exciting. Okay, that's really
And then the second one, we're still keeping tight to the chest.
okay. Okay, I get it. No problem. So, thank you for having us. This is great. I'm excited about the space. So, tell us because I think a lot of people don't know. So, we're right on Grand
Right.
Avenue. This is the new sales center, but you have a component here.
Yes.
Kind of there's is it Chevrolet?
Shibre. Yes.
Chevrolet. So they're part of this sales center.
Correct. So we partnered with a local cheese shop who happens to make amazing sandwiches. And we're also partnering with Maison Murat, which is a downtown wine concept,
Okay.
who's doing the kind of wine selection for this space. It's a kind of a brand new concept when it comes to sales center.
I've never seen anything
Yeah,
like it.
it's we didn't want it to be the traditional sales center where people are kind of hesitating to come in. Is this for me? Or so this is an open space for anyone to come and have a sandwich, have a glass of wine, have a drink. But then as well, if you look in the back here, we have a beautiful sales gallery. So we're kind of, breaking that barrier to entry for anyone that wants to walk in. Can come and check out what we're doing. It's
Sometimes people feel a little intimidated about walking into
exactly.
a sales center thinking, "Oh my god, now they're going to try to sell me." So I think this is a little more relaxed. I think it's fun. I think it's great. Thank you so much. This was great. And looking forward to bringing more clients in. So thank you, Sean.